Hi, this is Chris from Absolute Music, and today we have Rob from AKAI. You're here again.
I'm here.
Another
on the
new
sofa.
product. I know.
Yes, it's exciting times.
Take up residence on here with the amount of new products that AKAI are doing. But this is incredible. I'm really looking forward to this. You've got entry-level MPC at a very nice price point.
Yeah, exactly. So the MPC One is the newest addition to the MPC family. So you've got the Live, you've got the X, and this is the smallest one of the range, which is obviously most cost efficient as well. So it's going to come in underneath both of those. Probably the best features on these, which we'll go through in a bit, is how it takes parts from the Live and the X and makes it a bit more compact, really. But fundamentally, it's the same OS, so you're getting all those same features.
It's the same 7-inch screen on there.
That's it, yeah. So you've got the 7-inch multi-touch, multi-gesture display, which is the same as the Live. You've got the Q-links over here, which again come from the Live, which maps to the screen.
You had 4 on the Live, you've still got 4 on this.
That's it, exactly that. You've got 4 on there, and you've got the Q-link buttons to jump between.
Slightly smaller pads, but
yes,
they feel nice, they feel all right.
That's it, these feel really good. They're literally the same type of pad, so it's the same RGB, velocity, full velocity pads. You've got just sized down to fit the form factor of the unit. If you had the larger ones, it'd look a bit odd, but I've no issues with this. I found that it takes 30 seconds to get used to the size difference, but other than that, it's really, really good.
Excellent. And the outputs have changed quite a bit as
well.
Yes,
this is one of the
CV on there.
Yes,
like
this is some of the key features. So on the back, you've got your line outputs, your line inputs, so you can still do all the same sampling capabilities. You can record in from instruments. You can use various different instruments and hardware synths to record directly through the inputs. You've got your MIDI in and out, and then you've got CV. So CV is an improvement on the Live. Obviously, the Live had its own features which kind of made it unique, and this has its own as well.
Indeed.
So if you're a modular producer or a modular performer, there isn't a huge amount of hands-on controllers or sequencers that give you the display that you've got on MPC One.
It's a real music hub, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, if you're using modular equipment, you're going to really be in that world, but this gives you a little step towards the kind of like computer side of things, so you have the best of both worlds. And I found using it makes complete sense. For me, I'm not a CV guy, but using this, it makes complete sense in how you sequence it, using the step sequencer and all that sort of stuff.
Excellent.
So obviously to the far corner, you've got your power, you've got your link, USB-A and 2.0, so that means that you can use this as a controller for MPC 2.0. So if you're using third-party plugins, you can plug it in and it feels exactly the same as if it was standalone. Yes. You had a question, that you were going to ask me something?
No, nothing at all. I'm just thinking of all the other little bits that are different on it, but I know the memory is cut down from the MPC X. You've got, is it 4 gig on there instead of your 16 gigabyte?
Yes, it is slightly less, just based on the size of it.
Obviously, they need to cut it down in some way to represent the price.
The inbuilt memory in regards to storage, you've got 3.5 gigs. It's not a huge amount, but you've obviously got USB-A on the back, so you can use external memory from there, or an SD card on the front, which is...
MPC 2000 had 2 megabyte on, so 4 meg's still pretty
Happy days,
good.
Happy days, that's pretty good. It's worth noting what the differences are, which you don't have compared to the Live.
Yes.
The nearest relative in the family is the fact that you've got your battery in the Live. That was the real big thing with the Live. This doesn't have a battery in it for various reasons. Obviously, you've got a smaller unit, and obviously the price of it, that's a really big thing, is that you're going to have certain features on there which you get or you don't get on the Live, and then vice versa. There isn't any Wi-Fi on here as well. So beforehand, you could do your Ableton integration with Live and of course Force, and then the Bluetooth that's missing on here as well. But the link on the back here is a solution for the lack of Wi-Fi, so you can obviously get your splice content, which you can still do on here. It's just connect it to a router and download it from there.
Yeah, I don't think that's any big loss. I think it packs punch. I think it's got everything it sort of needs in it.
Yeah, exactly. I think some of the features which I think are great is this tactileness on the top.
Yeah.
I love the MPC Live. There's a lot of screen diving. Found a lot of time jumping through menus to get to things. This is taking a leaf out of older hardware, so you've got more tactile buttons, so you can jump through to the main features really quickly.
I did notice that.
And I found that actually makes my workflow a little bit quicker because I'm not having to think whereabouts on the screen. Not that was particularly slow, but it just speeds things up in that sense.
So you've got these quick shortcut buttons here to get to everything, but you've still got the same menu as you would have on
Yeah,
the
so it's
X
exactly
and
the same OS, like I said before. So you can do everything you could do in terms of the software side of things on here as you can on the other units.
In terms of sounds,
yes,
it's different.
Sounds are slightly different. You have some new additions, but the core are very much the same as the rest. But there is a pack that you get, which is unique to this, which is the F9 Instruments collection. Okay. So have you heard of Freemasons?
Oh, I have, indeed.
So one of the guys from there was nice enough to put together a multi-sampled instrument pack just for the MPC One users. Awesome. So once you purchase MPC One, you'll get a download. You have to just put it onto a memory card to get it on there. But there's a huge host of sounds which really brings MPC into its own. So it might be worth us looking into that, maybe making a beat around that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, let's have a look.
So obviously we've got to browse. We go to our expansions. You can see down here, I've got the F9 expansions down here. Excellent. So I can scroll through. In fact, if you want to scroll through and audition a few different things.
Yeah, no probs.
So just tap on there.
Cool, so we're loading that up on it.
So that's loads of different sample pieces put together into a key group. So you can still edit it, but it's just been loaded in.
Great.
So we've added the bass line from the collection.
Yep.
So let's make a beat and then throw it on top of it to see how it sounds.
Cool. So we've got beats, you do bass lines?
Yeah, let's do that. Fine, that's a good deal.
So what have we got here? We've got kick, snares, hats, and some funky samples up here. Let's give it a go. Okay, so if we start
88
from
BPM.
scratch. Yeah.
Just from scratch, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Sounds alright. Cool, just some hats on there.
Yeah. Just need a funky bass.
Cool. So, same thing applies on the previous units, is you've got the scale device. So I can jump into track 3 here.
Okay.
Go into there, you've got my bass loaded. Obviously on the pads I can only do so much.
Yeah.
So if I want to jump into there, you use the shift and then 16 notes or 16 levels of notes and you can jump in.
Great.
So we can choose the scale. Let's say that's probably about right on D sharp there. But if you want to change it, you can lock it in. So this is a feature which is great for people who've got little to no musical knowledge, because they can just look at the name of the sample. If it's in C, put it in C and you can play along.
Exactly, yeah.
Equally, if people are really good at theory, they can shut their brains off and just play, which I think is quite a nice thing to have.
Let's see how good you are then.
A lot of pressure now, so let's have a look. What I might do is actually double that.
Yeah.
So we'll go from 2 bars to 4,
That
just
sounds
like that.
good. Yeah.
And let's try that again.
You can do it. You can do it.
Just like that. So you can see how high quality those samples are. Right? It sounds really realistic. I suppose there's some you can get in sample packs which are a little bit like in the middle. So you can start stretching them and they sound a bit rubbish. This is all really high-end content.
And what kind of genres are going to be on here? You've got the usual like drum and bass.
Yeah, it
hip-hop.
covers everything really. Goes across the board. So if you are a pop producer, there's plenty of stuff to pick in. To be honest, pop is a little bit blurred now, so there's a bit of everything in there. But it will cover you from your drum and bass guys to your house production guys.
Yeah, love it. Excellent.
So with all of these tactile controls, you've got the little red writing underneath. And that essentially is giving you a double click mode. So if you want to jump into it and have another side of it, you can available by doing shift like that. That can jump into the different modes. So particularly the drums, this is useful to start mixing individual elements. So again, making it really, really tactile.
Yeah, excellent stuff. What I really like that they've done this time is the positioning of the pads. On the live, you had the pads over on what I felt was like the wrong side. And so
it was a different shape.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people agreed with it being a bit more old school, kind of like the 2000s.
That's right, yeah.
I never had the chance to use one of those, so looking at this and feeling the way that it works, I've no issue with that.
Yeah.
Obviously with the Live being battery powered, some people prefer that.
Yeah,
but for me, I find that there's two things to this. It's the price and what you're getting with it.
That's right, yeah.
And the way that it tailors to very broad group of producers, it means you're going to have a lot of different people using it.
Yeah.
So I mentioned the modular community. It's got the auto sample in there, so you can actually sample all your data from your modular equipment back in.
Right.
You can control your live hardware devices. You even put your MIDI controller in through the back.
Yeah.
So you'll find there's people who are just starting out looking at MPC One as their beginner production tool, because it's going to be cheaper than buying a laptop, a keyboard, and your software.
Yeah, I think it comes more in line. I get a lot of people come in and ask for Machine or the Push 2, and I felt like the X was too far out of their reach. The Live was still quite a good few £100 more than that, and this is going to tempt a lot more people, I think.
Exactly,
yeah. It is an all-in-one. You don't have to buy the software for it. It's all ready to go.
And
I think I do really well. Yeah.
Earlier, it does have the option to connect with your computer, because if you want to use your third-party plugins, we're not going to ignore that. You can just kind of plug it in, work as you are, just with that additional content via the computer. But it's also got the Ableton export modes you've expected on the other ones. So if you do start a project and you want to bounce it into your Ableton session, really simple, you just do it through the menu and you can continue working from there.
Yeah, and with the memory, with the 4 gig, if you want to expand it, can you? Is it with like an external hard drive if you want to get more sounds?
There's no SATA disk on here.
No.
So you use an SD card or a memory stick. This has got a 64 gig in at the minute, and I have barely scratched the surface on it. And that's got about 10 packs on there from the expansion store, which is essentially our marketplace for expansions. And they haven't had any issues with it whatsoever.
Excellent. No, it's really good.
Cool. So that was just a really quick rundown on it. As I said, it's very similar to the others, but it's got its own little place. So I think people will be quite excited about it.
Fantastic. Thanks ever so much.
No problem.
Cheers for watching, guys.